came across my timeline, so I had to give the update. So in case you're not in the know, large content creator Shroud was going viral last week because he said on his stream that Arc Raiders should win Game of the Year, and specifically he was shitting on Expedition 33, and he said, don't let this game win, don't let this game win. And I was talking about it. It didn't really offend me. People are allowed to have their opinions. I disagree with it, and I think it's a bad opinion, but at least he picked a halfway decent game. I still think it's not even close, and the only people who think it's close between Arc Raiders and Expedition 33 are people who didn't play both games, because Expedition 33 is probably the best game I played since Elden Ring, and like I'm comfortable saying that. It might be a top 100 type game for me. Like it's that level of good. And I think we as gaming fans should be celebrating that because it's made by a team of 30 people for $50. The game, I got 70 hours on it. The average playthrough is like 40. Amazing visuals, thought-provoking, well-written story, amazing music, innovative combat, like everything that you want. Voice acting is top tier. Everything you want from a AAA experience, all bundled in a $50 package. In a world where things are only $70, I don't know why people are advocating for live service games. So he was advocating for it, and he was getting dunked on. People were just like, you didn't play Expedition 33. But I think it wasn't that he likes Arc Raiders more. I think it was the negative connotation he kind of had when he was just like, we can't let Expedition 30. He was talking about Expedition 33 if it was Call of Duty. If he was talking about like Call of Duty or something, nobody would have cared because it's like, yeah, it's Call of Duty. But he was talking about it like Expedition isn't some amazing ass game or whatever. And a lot of y'all in the chat were like, because I was pushing back on this. A lot of y'all in the chat were like, I think he's trolling. I think he's trolling. But he doubled down on it. And he gave another statement like the following stream where he had said that, oh, well, if it can't win Game of the Year, it's stupid. It should be separated. They should have multiplayer Game of the Year and then single player Game of the Year. And people were frying him for that take as well. You know, he tried to backpedal a little bit because he was trying to argue that multiplayer games are so completely different from single player games. And I don't think, first of all, they were frying him because there is a best multiplayer category. So that's I've been said that he is a ball and gun gamer. A lot of y'all didn't agree with that, but I'm like, he's a ball and gun gamer. That's why he has these takes. But he proved he's a ball and gun gamer because he didn't know there was a best multiplayer game. But he's still trying to argue that it should be separated to single player and multi. I don't agree with that for the simple fact that Game of the Year, whether it's single or multiplayer, it should be one category because Game of the Year should be about pushing the needle. And some of y'all may agree with that, may or not agree with that, but I think Game of the Year should be reserved for a game that creates an impact that only was seeing that part that in that moment of the year or whatever, as of whether it's a gameplay mechanic or some type of quality of life feature that evolves gaming, and other things start to like copy it. It should be like that, whether it's, and it could be multiplayer or single player. The last multiplayer game to win Game of the Year was Overwatch, and I think that was a fair win because Overwatch was, whether you want to give it credit or not, it was revolutionary. It ushered in the era of the hero shooter. And we've had a gazillion hero shooters since. They've borrowed from that. True, is there a single player game award? There's like best story too. So I guess that would be like best single player. But yeah, I think you should put multiplayer and single player in there for best game of the year, because if it's multiplayer, it's gonna win. It's crazy to me that these group of people talk about it should be about merit. And the moment your merit can't win, they want to start breaking things out. They want to start categorizing shit, right? So he wasn't trolling. He wasn't trolling. And I saw this response literally before I started streaming, and I wanted to bring it up because I feel like it articulated the points better of what I'm trying to make from this user named Ill Physics or Tony, where I disagree. Arc is still the most watched game on Twitch as an extraction shooter. Twitch is not an indication, guys. Twitch is not an indication on how popular a game is. Twitch is not even a popular website. That is a terrible argument. Twitch is not even a popular website. They've been struggling. Twitch has never made money, and they've been around for almost 20 years. Like, okay, if we go, so still one of the biggest games in the world is PUBG Mobile. It's not popular on Twitch. Twitch, you can use Twitch to some degree. Yeah, that's a Drake ass take, to some degree. But like, Twitch is not the end all be all. YouTube is not the end all be all of an indication of how popular a video game is. There are a lot because if it was, Call of Duty would be a dead game. Call of Duty is not that popular on Twitch right now. It's still a gazillion of y'all playing Warzone and buying that shit every year. That's not how it's, you got to understand, like, that's an internet take, unfortunately. Take your ass back to YouTube, chat. Also, how many people are watching something is not an indication on what's pushing the needle or not. It just means that it's popular. It's like a high school take. Like that's like a peak in high school take. But anyways, I feel like this point articulated. You'd be surprised how many YouTube videos I watch where they bring up Twitch numbers as a main. It's a terrible take. So this dude posted a list of the last 20 games that won Game of the Year in comparison to Arc Raiders, right? And I thought this articulated it really good. So we're gonna go through this list, right? 2003 to 2023, Grand Theft Auto, Half-Life 2, Resident Evil 4, Oblivion, BioShock. Then we got Grand Theft Auto again, Uncharted 2, Red Dead Redemption, Skyrim, The Walking Dead, GTA 5, Dragon Age, The Witcher 3, Overwatch, that's the one multiplayer game, Breath of the Wild, God of War, Sekiro, The Last of Us 2, It Takes Two, Elden Ring, Baldur's Gate 3. Now, what do all of these games have in common? Besides maybe this one, which is the one live service game that won Game of the Year. Do you know what all these games have in common? It's not that they're single player. It's that I'd be willing to bet a paycheck that most of you have fond memories when you look back and think about these games. These are games that innovated in some type of fashion. They pushed the needle and they impacted the culture in some type of fashion so that when we talk about them, we think about good times. Overwatch won Game of the Year. You don't even think about this. You could, like 2016 to maybe 2018 was a great time for Overwatch. After that, that shit fell off a fucking cliff due to all the different patches and stuff. But it did deserve to win Game of the Year, I think, in 2016. That was a fair assessment. This is the problem with live service games. Live service games are always one patch away from being irrelevant. And Arc Raiders right now is not, Arc Raiders is not doing anything more mind-blowing than what Overwatch was doing back in 2016. A lot of single player games there. We'll talk about all those games today. You'd be, they brought innovation during their time. Yeah, like Arc Raiders is third person Escape from Tarkov, but it's more and it's cool. But it's not in a year where Split Fiction and Expedition 33 came out. Yeah, Arc Raiders is just the Division. We played the game already. I think the problem with the internet is it suffers from recency bias. Like something will come out and you're enjoying it in the moment and you feel like, also keep in mind, this is the same guy who had to take, I think, was it him that said Spider-Man 2? Or no, he was saying Wukong should win Game of the Year too. I'm like, y'all didn't play a lot of games. Wukong was a broken mess. If you enjoyed it for what it is, that's fine, but that doesn't change the fact that it was a technical mess. I'm not talking about the people who played it today or yesterday because it's been patched 1,000 times. That shit was a technical mess. Twitch viewership equals pushing the needle. Twitch viewership is such a bad it's such a bad argument because Twitch viewership can change tomorrow. Last week, Battlefield 6 RedSec was the hottest thing on Twitch. Now it's not. It got passed by Arc Raiders. And when something new comes out, it's gonna pass Arc Raiders. That's how Twitch, it's based off of fads, but it's not based off the quality. It doesn't mean that less people are playing. It means less people are watching. I'm curious to see how Arc will hold when Where the Wind Meets. I still don't know anything about that damn game. My boss brought that up saying it could be Game of the Year and I felt insulted. I beat Expedition 33. That's my first turn-based game I ever beat. You have so many people saying that. I've never played or beat a turn-based game before. Expedition 33 was the one. Twitch viewership is irrelevant to me. There are certain games I love, but I don't care to watch others play and vice versa. And that's why I said it's irrelevant. The only thing that matters is about the quality of the game. It's not about who's popular. That's like saying the high school quarterback should by default be homecoming queen or king or whatever for the simple fact that he plays football when there might be X, Y, and Z different I don't know if that's a good example. I'm old. Merits to get that. What up? Does Arc Raiders even get nominated for Game of the Year? And then people are also pissed about Arc Raiders too because Eurogamer gave it some bad reviews. They gave it a bad review and it tanked the score, so they're pissed about that shit. And I'm curious how y'all feel about this. And this is why I don't care anything about the internet. I'm just yapping, just putting something out there. So Eurogamer gave Arc Raiders a bad review and it dropped the overall on the Oprah Critic score. And the reason they gave it a bad review is because of the use of AI. Now, for those unaware, Arc Raiders uses AI for the voice actors. From my understanding, the voice actors are real, but they signed away their rights. So basically, Arc Raiders can keep using their voice freely. And they brought that up in the review. And I find that interesting that the Arc Raider fanboys, I'm confused, right? I'm just putting some food for thought out there. On one hand, you have the internet saying AI slop, don't support none of this shit, we need to support artists. But then when you find a game that you like, you don't give a fuck, and now you're mad because somebody's criticizing the use of AI and how it's putting people out of work. Basically, the developers finessed the voice actors or whatever. Yeah, people are mad over opinion. I'm indifferent about this. But I'm confused by it because I'm like, do you guys hate AI or not? Because it seems like you like it when it's for a game that you enjoy. What's Sangoon Nation? It's for people who got Alfred Sangoon on a NBA Fantasy League team and they winning, like me, nigga. It's inevitable. It's not inevitable if we put protections in place. I just find it to be a little bit hypocritical. I think it was fair that they made that criticism. That's their right to make that criticism. I'm calling my phone. Yeah, Baby Joker for the win. Big Sangooners in the chat. But yeah, it's their right to do that. It's their opinion. If you still like the game, play the game. My problem I just find it very interesting that they were upset with that. But yeah, if you look at this list of games, you think, like, I look at like Sekiro Shadows Die Twice. That won Game of the Year because in my opinion, that has the best parry system I've ever seen in a video game. To this day, we still haven't seen anything better. I think the closest thing to that is Kazaa, the first Berserker. That had a very good parry system that pushed the needle. God of War, the way they rebranded Kratos, the lessons you was getting in the boat, the vibe of the game, the way they streamlined the combat, that shit was great. Breath of the Wild, the open world take on it, people are still talking about this game. They just remastered it. Sorry, Arc Raiders is not on the level of The Witcher 3. It's not. It's fucking not. I'm not even a big Grand Theft Auto fan, and I'd be a fucking hater to sit up here and say that this wasn't pushing the needle. GTA's online was, niggas is still on the T Grizzly server. It's a fair criticism, but to give it a 3 out of 10 solely off that is very disingenuous. I can see where you're coming from, but you also have to keep in mind it's their opinion. So I think the reason they gave it a 3 out of 10 is because they genuinely have a deep disdain for, like, they're standing on it. They say they hate this shit. I'm not supporting it. 3 out of fucking 10 versus like a soft blow. You got to keep in mind, it may not weigh as much to you, but it might weigh a lot to them. And that's why I said it's their opinion. I don't get mad at it. Pick up Ryan Rollins if you haven't already. Yeah, the point guard for the Bucks, he's doing good. He's not available in my league. Somebody picked him up already. Skyrim had the streets going crazy, bruh. We still describe the way we go up. When you go up the side of a mountain, the way you're not supposed to, you call that Skyrim climbing. The Walking Dead, Telltale, what nobody talking about no point and click adventure games, choose your own adventure games. The Walking Dead walked so fucking Dispatch could fly, nigga. Arc Raiders, Arc Raiders, might be mind-blowing to you if you never played The Last of Us multiplayer. Arc Raiders is the last, I hate to break it to y'all, it's kind of the same game almost, damn near. I think we get caught up in the moment. Man. We won't be talking about Arc Raiders in 6 months. And you know what, Jamo? I agree. I don't think we'll be talking about it in a year. I don't think. But Hunt Showdown 1896. The only people who will still be talking about it are like the super hardcore fans. But there's so many quality games coming out in 2026 that I think it's gonna get buried. I don't see it as a multiplayer game that's gonna have a ton of bad legs. People gave bad reviews to restaurants for their own personal morals and beliefs all the time, regardless if the food was good. It's all opinions. That's why it's important to read the opinion. Then you have to decide, do you agree with that? You got to get the context behind it, but they're allowed to have it. You got to keep in mind it's all opinions. Overwatch had me and my squad looking at multiplayer games different back. No, that's real. We was on that shit heavy grinding. Arc Raiders is derivative of Marathon and Escape from Tarkov. It may be good game, but it's not revolutionary. This is, and because I don't want people to think that Arc Raiders is a bad game. I've been playing it. I'll tell you what Arc Raiders does do good. It streamlines the extraction shooter process and makes it easier for people to get into. And I think it cleans up the little quality of life things that those other two games like Marathon and Escape from Tarkov didn't get right. That's all it did. It just kind of cleaned up the messy stuff so the regular 9 to 5 person can play it. That doesn't make it game of the year. That being said, I will say I'm glad that bare minimum we're actually having a fun debate and conversation about game of the year. Not stupid ass conversation like how could Baldur's Gate win over fucking Spider-Man 3? Like at least we're actually debating. It's a great casual extraction instead of it being hardcore. Yeah, that's all it is. They just casualize the experience. So, you know, he's entitled to his opinion. His opinion don't make me mad. But I felt like he articulated it. Like when you actually look at this list of great games, like bro, Arc Raiders is not on this level. Come on, be for real. Best multiplayer game. I'm gonna be honest, Arc Raiders might not even win best multiplayer game this year. Battlefield 6 is fucking fire. I'm gonna be honest. We on that shit. We're on that shit. So to say like you remember last year, it was almost definitive that Helldivers 2 was gonna win game of the not game of the year. Helldivers 2 was gonna win best multiplayer game. I'm gonna be honest, I don't even know if I'm not saying Arc Raiders won't, but Arc Raiders won't even definitively win multiplayer game of the year. So for you to try to argue game of the year, no, because Battlefield 6 is a heater this year. I'm gonna be honest. Battlefield 6 is a heater. I had somewhat fun playing Arc Raiders beta, but I didn't buy it because I didn't want to add another multiplayer game. True. Battlefield 6 is great. It got me playing the BR. Yeah, I hate BR, and I've been playing BR on Battlefield 6. That's how you know that shit is gas. I did not expect to be playing Battlefield 6 this much. Me personally, I'd put Battlefield 6 as my favorite multiplayer game. Sparking Zero got it. All right, bro, shut the fuck up. Next topic. I just thought it was fun. I thought this was a great way to articulate it, like be for real. Marvel Rivals is not in the conversation. Anytime Marvel Rivals comes up, it's for nothing positive, bro. Nothing positive. Although Battlefield 6 Season 1 has been dookie. You been on the BR though? 2K's multiplayer of the year. But how come every time y'all record a podcast, literally a day or two later, breaking news happens, like with the GTA stuff? No, real shit. Literally the day after we recorded the podcast, the GTA delay happened. And I don't know why it happens like that. That's why I don't rush to put out the episodes, because it's just impossible to keep up with everything. And then the turnaround for it is not that great. Like people don't support the podcast like that. So I don't even really care. It'll be up when it be up, which I'll probably edit it tonight. It's unfortunate, but it is what it is. That's why I put if you notice during the podcast, most people probably don't notice, but in the first 10 seconds, I put when it was recorded just to protect us, because a breaking news will happen the very next day and people be like, why you didn't talk about X, Y, and Z? It was recorded before it happened, guys. It's Christ. Battlefield still has high Steam DB count, which is not far from where Arc Raiders is. Arc is def not winning. Yeah, but Arc Raiders has more viewers on Twitch, so therefore it's the better game, according not the number of players. Not the general sentiment. Not gonna lie, it doesn't feel like COD is about to drop this week. Oh damn, and it does drop this week? Thank God, man. So you niggas can get off Battlefield and stop bitching about that shit, bro. More viewers equals pushing the needle. First, y'all can't hit the like button. Now y'all put it. Yeah, y'all podcast is difficult because not enough news happens daily or even weekly. But when you post it, it could be something big shit at any time. Ding, 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 ding. It wouldn't be that big of a deal if like every podcast was going viral, but it doesn't. Right now, we're living in what's the word I'm looking for? We're living in a clickbait drama-esque type meta. That's what's winning right now. Like, so our podcast is very unique. Shout out to Booty Scratcher with the 5 gifted subs. Appreciate it. Yeah, microwave society. Hopefully things come around full circle. In other news, Insomniac leaks of internal documents. Yo, shout out to Dell with the sub. Insomniac leaks of internal documents gave us an unprecedented insight into the inner works of the studio. Insomniac only made a profit of $567 with Sunset Overdrive. You read that right. $567 US. So Sunset Overdrive 2, it's not happening most likely, which is unfortunate. It's a good game. I liked it. I love a silly platformer, action platformer. I think the reason this game failed though, because it was on the Xbox One, unfortunately. It was on the Xbox One. It wasn't the best game ever. It was like a solid 8 to me, but it was on the Xbox One. This is coming off the heels of Don Matrix saying, if you can't afford an Xbox One or you don't have internet, get an Xbox 360. That pissed a lot of people off. They went and bought a PS4, and this game was DOA, as well as every Xbox One exclusive, pretty much, which is unfortunate. I remember this. I never finished it. I liked it. It was a silly, fun game. I played it last year. It's definitely a hidden gem.
Your resub is cool, but honestly...
So shout out to Castro with the sub. So, if you had any idea of why we never got a sequel or if we never will get one, this is why. That shit made $500. Other news, you just asked me about this. Yes, I did, Castro. For those unaware, Best Soundtrack nominations just came out for the Grammys, and this has been causing a lot of drama. I don't know why, because I don't really care what the fucking Grammys thinks about gaming. The Grammys can't even get it right for the basic categories, R&B, pop, rap, rock. They can't even get it right for the things they're supposed to get it right for. Friendly reminder, the Grammys gave a Grammy to Macklemore over Good Kid, Mad City. Y'all remember that shit? I'm gonna pop some tags. That gentrified ass rap designed for a certain demographic who ain't capable of consuming the culture in its natural state. So they got to make some watered down gentrified bullshit about driving up prices at Goodwill and fucking Salvation Army. I'm gonna pop some tags. That shit's awful. It's one of the worst shits I've ever heard. Nigga sent that nigga Kendrick a text. Yo, my bad, man. I stole this shit from. Shut the fuck up, nigga. Shut the fuck up. We don't hear that shit. That organization, people are upset because Claire Expedition 33 was not nominated at the Grammys for Best Video Game Soundtrack. No Death Stranding 2 either. Somehow I get the feeling people who selected the nominees do not play video games. So the question is, what got nominated at the Grammys for Best Soundtrack? Avatar. The moment I read this, I was like, why is anybody mad? Avatar Frontiers of Pandora? Nigga, who played that? Avatar. You talking about this game? Hold on, where that shit at? Where that shit at, bruh? Who got the clip? I'm gonna play this shit off stream, bruh. Where that shit at? I can't find it. There it is, right there.
Hey, huge shout out to Ubisoft for sponsoring the stream for real, man. You can get this game on PlayStation, Xbox, and PC, bro. Make sure y'all click the link in the panel.
Please click the link in the panel, y'all. Download the game yourself.
Check it out. And, man, I'm gonna play this off stream, man. We're gonna finish this mission up off stream.
The pulse is coming from the balloons.
What's up, Dave?
Pushes the keylord back.
This shit will never not be funny, bro.
In confusion.
Then the camera died.
She doesn't know how to get them away.
Gotta play it off stream. We gotta play it off stream. This game right here, the moment I read this game, we gonna play this shit off stream, got nominated. Nobody should have took this list seriously. Null and void. This is what I mean when I say sometimes we gotta bring gatekeeping back. Who gives a fuck what the Grammys thinks about video games? It's not their culture. Helldivers 2, Indiana Jones, Star Wars Outlaws. Guys, 2 mid-ass Ubisoft games are on the list. You know what that says to me? Somebody at Ubisoft is in the Grammys board pockets. This is a fraudulent list. A fraudulent fucking list, bruh. Not only should have Expedition 33 been on the game, I'm not gonna lie, I had just started playing Ninja Gaiden 4. That soundtrack is fire. There's been a bunch of fire soundtracks that have come out this year. The swag surfing game, bruh. But I bought the Expedition 33 vinyl. That's how good the fucking soundtrack was, dude. And that shit wasn't on the list. Who cares, man? This list is a fucking joke. And then if Ubisoft does one, they're gonna be bragging. South of Midnight, yeah, South of Midnight was a great soundtrack. If Ubisoft wins, they're gonna be like, man, look, see, our games are good. No, they're not, nigga. You're not fooling us. You're not fucking fooling us. Fuck the Grammys. That's what I say. I haven't watched the Grammys since I was like in high school. I don't watch. As a matter of fact, I don't even know an award show is going on until I open up my phone and go on Twitter and I'm scrolling and I see a bunch of clips of people being upset that X, Y, and Z didn't win an X, Y, and Z category. And I think to myself, why do y'all care? Why do y'all care what the fucking Grammys thinks? They never get it right. It's a bunch of old farts not in tune with the culture, and not one culture, but it feels like every culture. What's the browser you're using? I'm using Comet. Come on, you can get that Avatar soundtrack on wax. If I did, I'd play that shit up off stream, chat. I'd play it off stream. 3 of those is based off already established Hollywood franchises. Fire the board. Fire the board. This is what some of y'all were talking about earlier. State of the Play Japan set for November 11th, aka tomorrow. Today is November 10th, featuring updates on games from Japan and Asia. It'll be over 40 minutes of announcements. Let's see. A special broadcast focused on games in Japan and Asia on November 11th at 2 p.m. PST, 5 p.m. EST. The company announced you will be able to watch it on YouTube. The broadcast will run for over 40 minutes and will feature announcements and updates for games created in Japan and across Asia, including interviews and new looks at anticipated titles from beloved series to distinctive indie creatures. Indie creatures. Along with a few other exciting updates, it will be hosted by voice actor Yuki Kaji, aka JRPCG Central. I didn't get they haven't shipped out the 33 vinyls yet. Thank you for putting me on the comment. It's fire. No problem. No problem. The question is there any expectations? I don't have any expectations. Y'all think they're gonna spam Bloodborne in the chat? Yeah, maybe we'll see Phantom Blade. I mean, we've seen a lot of that already, but that's possible because they said Asia as a whole. What up, Chaos? But I don't have any like crazy expectations. I don't know what they're coming out with. As long as I see something cool. I'm gonna be honest, I have a prediction for this. It doesn't matter what they announce, you niggas are gonna complain because the last State of the Play, I counted like 5 games that I was interested in, and a lot of y'all caught that shit trash. These be 30, 40-minute presentations. So in my head, if I see like 2 or 3 things that I like, then I'm cool. It's not a 2-hour presentation like E3 or State of the... Like I hold Summer Games Fest and like E3, those level press conferences to like a different level. I judge them. But like these State of the Play, these Nintendo Directs where they're only like 30 to 40 minutes, as long as I see 1 or 2 things cool, I'm good. But motherfuckers be like, if everything doesn't hit for them because people fail to realize not everything is for you, they act like this shit is the worst thing ever. And I'm like, I don't know. I saw stuff that I would play. I just want a release date for Phantom Blade. I feel that. I mean, it should be coming in 2026. I think the problem is people want to see reasons to own a PS5 with exclusives. They don't count third parties. They showed a couple of exclusives, the last one. Maybe Kingdom Hearts 4? Do you have any expectations, though, for Kingdom Hearts 4 after what happened with 3? I'd keep that pretty low. To be fair, Mind's Eye was showcased during State of the Play, and that game was ass. Also, to be fair, Mind's Eye always looked like ass. I don't know why y'all had any hope in Pink Eye. We'll see. I'll be doing a review of it. Disney adults can't stop talking about Kingdom Hearts. Is that what they are? They were the Mickey Mouse ears. Oh, Sora!